Hey guys, thanks so much for joining me. Been a while since I've made a video. Been really busy at my new job, and honestly, I haven't had a whole lot to talk to y'all about lately. Hadn't really gotten any new products in, not really gotten any new juices in recently that I've been overly impressed with that I really wanted to talk to y'all about. Well, that's changed. Pick up a few new items, all from All About Vapor that I wanted to talk to y'all about today. Um, we're going to do a device review, and we're going to do a juice review today. We're going to talk about the new VMax version 2 from Smoke, and we're going to talk about a new juice that I picked up from All About Vapor called Primo. Also sporting the All About Vapor shirt that they were nice enough to hook me up with while I was there. Let me show you a picture of the back of it, because I'm just not into standing up and turning around and showing you the back of it on camera. So let me show you a picture real quick. So that's a picture of the t-shirt. I don't know if they're on their website yet. If not, you can always just send an email along to Courtney or the guys up at All About Vapor. I believe they're $15 if you want to pick one up while you're putting your order in. So moving along to the reviews. The VMax version 2, it's the exact same device as what they've had out there for a little while now. Just a couple of tweaks. And the tweaks that they made to it were the original version, version 1, when they came out, when you took your batteries out and put them back in, it defaulted to a 5-volt setting when you fired it. I guess they were having problems with people popping their addies or burning their face off or whatever whenever they went to go vape it after changing it and not forgetting to put their settings back in. So they changed it now to where it defaults to 3 volts whenever you change your batteries out. They evidently made a little change to the circuitry as well, so there's no issues with dual coil cartomizers or anything like that. So, there's a menu system on this like there are on a lot of the variable voltage devices out there, where you could go in and do your voltage up, voltage down. You can check your battery life. You can check your ohms of your, atomizer or cartomizer that you're using. You can turn the device off. There's several different ones. I'm not going to go through all the menu system and showing you how to navigate it and everything. Smoke was nice enough with the devices. They actually put a very well written instruction manual on how to navigate all the menu items on there. What I want to talk to you about is my impression of the device in general. How well is it made? How well does it work? And what do I think about it as far as the value goes? So let me get straight to that. First off, the construction is really good construction. It doesn't feel cheap. It doesn't feel light. It is a very well made device. The LED screen is really big, very easy to read. The button is kind of clicky, so you can tell when you're activating it, and you'll have to forgive me with my beaten up atomizer that I've had for like 6 months that I just can't kill. It's my favorite atomizer, and it's starting to show its wear. So, pay no attention to the atomizer. The device itself is very attractive. It's got a silver finish to it. You can also get them in black. No difference between the devices other than the color. It does have a native 510 connection with a drip well around it. Focus, focus. That'll help keep the juice from running down the side on it. It does stack batteries, which, everybody talks about, the dangers of stacking batteries. I've talked a lot about it. I use a Buzz Pro, which stacks batteries. I've never had any issues with it. And it does stack to 18350s. 3.7, I use the IMR versions on it just because IMRs are kind of my go-to battery on it. The threads on the bottom are nice. They don't feel gravelly. It's clearly a well-machined device. Has your vent holes in the bottom of it. Again, just a really well put together device. Now when you first put it in, the batteries in, it defaults to no display. And again, defaults to a 3-volt deal. So just real quick, I know I said I wasn't going to change the menu. All you got to do to get to the menu settings is click the button 3 times, and it brings up your menu. And you just push the button to go through what you want to go to. So I'm going to get back over to 1 and turn the voltage up real quick to back where I want to be if I'll quit passing it. And you just wait a second and crank it back up. So I have it set at 3.5. And the reason I have it put at 3.5, which if you watched any of my other videos on my variable voltage devices, I tend to vape at around 4 to 4.5 volts. This device on 3.5 volts vapes just like the Buzz Pro at 4.5 or my Denali at 4.5. So I've heard a few people talk about it and talk about the fact that how hard it hits, that it seems to hit a little higher than the voltage settings, as being kind of a negative. And I don't see it that way. If we were talking about a silver bullet, that when you put your 3.7 in, it was hitting like 4 or 4.5 volts, everybody would be like, oh great, this is the best silver bullet ever. Or if you're using your Ego and your Ego is hitting like it was at 4 volts, everybody would be super excited about it. For some reason, because this hits so well, or above the adjusted settings, it seems to be a negative. Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret about the VMax. It's variable voltage. If it hits too hard, turn it down. And it vapes great. At 3 volts, it's a little bit too light. At 4 volts, it's a little bit too much for me. But I tend to use low resistance atomizers as well. So this happens to be a 1.5 ohm atomizer. So above 3.5, it starts getting pretty hot anyways. And at 3.5, as you can see with the vapor production, man, it just works wonderfully well. I mean, how can you complain about that? It just works really well. Good heat, good vapor production. The flavor is outstanding. I've been using it with a tank. Oh, and this happens to be a 1.5 ohm tank. Works great. I've got absolutely no complaints. The amount of time that I've had with this thing, I've had no issues with it. I've had no problems. Every time I fired it up, it's worked great with the 18350s in there. I'm getting about 2-3 days of usage out of it before I have to charge the batteries. It's just been a really good working device, and I've been really pleased with it. So the cost-wise, All About Vapor is selling the VMax with the batteries for, I believe, $129. At that price point, it's up with her along with the other variable voltage devices. Probably a little bit less than a lot of the volt. I know it's less than my Buzz Pro. I know it's less than my Denali. And it works as well, if not better, than either of those two. I've had no issues with it. The construction is really well made. It's a good device. So in my opinion, at $129, well worth the money. Now if you need a charger for it, if you don't happen to have a mod already, which you know, most of the mod chargers, the battery chargers now that you use for any of the mods will accept just about any of the batteries. I think you can pick up a battery charger for another 10 bucks. So, you know, for 140 bucks, you're getting the device, the two batteries, as well as the charger. Still, in my opinion, a good value. So would I recommend this device? Absolutely, I would recommend this device. From what I've used and what I have, it works great. The voltage questions as far as how well it hits is not an issue for me because you can turn it down enough to where it's still a satisfying vape. The question is whether you can ever turn a device up. I mean, if you're using a 3 ohm Cardo in it, you know, and you have a device that only goes up to 5.5 and it hits like it's at 4.5, that might not be a satisfying vape. This one, absolutely no issues powering whatever you put on it. So a good device, you know, been very pleased with it. So let's talk about the juice real quick. The juice I got from All About Vapor is called Primo, and it is a French vanilla tobacco. And I have gone through, at this point, next month will be a year vaping for me. I have gone through a lot of juices. And Primo is pretty much my new all-day vape. I really rarely pick up anything else since I have it. It is a very, very smooth, very nice, light juice. Even though it's a French vanilla tobacco, you don't pick up a whole lot of the tobacco taste to it. It's one of those juices along the lines of a few of the other tobaccos that you pick up kind of a cakey, cookie, chocolately sweetness to it that I don't know if you vaped it you would even describe it as a tobacco flavor. But again, it's not an overpowering flavor, which makes it great for an all-day vape. Now, one bit of caution with the Primo. When you get it, it's going to look something like this. It's going to have that kind of typical pale yellow color to it. You do not want to vape it while it is that color. You want to wait till it gets to be about that color. This juice must steep before you vape it. When I got it, I tried to vape it right away and did not like it. I waited about a week, and Courtney warned me, it takes time to steep. You must let it steep for a good long time before you vape it. Me being me, I was like, whatever, let me try it. She was absolutely right. For about the first week, I kept trying to take a taste, didn't like it. About 2 weeks into it, it was starting to come around. About 2.5, almost 3 weeks, I picked it up, and I haven't put it down since. Once it turns this real dark color, man, it is good stuff. And again, I haven't put it down yet. And this is about the place where I need to actually go get some more from her because the amount of time that it's going to take to steep, I'll be through with this right about the time the next batch is ready to go. So Primo from All About Vapor is a must try. Get over to their website, get some of that. But make sure, listen to me, make sure you let it steep at least a good 2 weeks before you're ready to vape it. Right off the bat when it's fresh, it has it has a very buttery taste to it. And all the flavors that she has in it, it just takes time. It takes time, but trust me, it is worth the wait. Really, really good stuff. So, to wrap it up, VMax from Smoke, really good device. Would highly recommend that. Primo from All About Vapor, must try it. Excellent juice. My new favorite all-day vape without a doubt. So get over to All About Vapor, check out their website. Got a lot of really good flavors over there. Give Primo a try. Pick up the VMax. Real good device. I think you'll be really happy with it, especially if you're considering a variable voltage device. A lot of other options there. Real good website. Real great people over there. Call them, text them, email them. Give them a shot. I appreciate you watching. Until next time.